Man, Fabi now down to 3 minutes. He's about to make a move. It seemed like no, now he's back to thinking.
Under 3 minutes now. This is nerve-wracking.
Extremely nerve-wracking. Seatbelts fastened and mandatory. He's below 3 minutes. Here he goes. He hasn't played it. He's played Queen C3.
C3. That's what
and that move allows Rook C1, and that seems to have squandered the win after Rook C1.
But okay, let's put it on the board. Rook C1, but what happens after D2? Once again, is that pawn just gonna be lost?
This is the amazing part. White doesn't take the queen because then white gets mated, right? Black goes D1 and then Rook B1. No, white returns to D1 with the Rook, and the D2 pawn cannot be defended because if you bring the Rook back to D2, guess what? White still has his D pawn. Black has no choice but to play a move like A3. White captures D2 and the passed pawns cancel each other out. This will end in a draw if Nils finds Rook C1.
But Nils under a minute as well. Rook C1 must be the only move, surely.
But nerves definitely played a role. But let's not gotta cross our fingers. Nils still has to find Rook C1. And
he didn't. Rook D1 he played.
Rook D1. And let's see. It's so hard to say, and that loses, according to the engine, to Queen C2. And here's the thing. After Queen C2, if you play Rook C1 now, the opportunity train has passed. Black plays D2 and forks the Rook with D1 Queen. Oh, man. Both players are going to be kicking themselves, but especially Nils. Fabi will play Queen C2, no doubt about that. Our head, we can imagine Queen C2, Rook D2. Black puts the Queen on C1, and then the Rook on B1, and that's deadly. And here he goes. He's played Queen C2.
Queen C2 is on the board, and now Fabi back in a winning position. Nils now, well, I guess Rook D2 has to be played, or?
Yeah, you got to go Rook D2 and hope that there's no checkmate there, but there is. Rook D2, Rook B1 check, and then the Queen can drop down to C1 or up to C6 and threaten checkmate on H1 in both cases.